Okay, let's dive right in. We've got some really interesting source material today, all focused on what looks like uh, a very practical roadmap.
Yeah, a real no BS guide to financial freedom, as they put it.
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. Cut through all the noise, pull out the key stuff from these sources.
And basically show you how to get off that, that hamster wheel.
Right. Build some actual wealth, live life more on your terms.
Hmm.
And this isn't guru fluff. It's meant to be actionable, real-world steps.
Absolutely. And the first thing that just jumps out is how direct it is. It says, look, before anything else, define your target. You need a number.
A freedom figure, they call it.
Precisely. Not just a vague idea, but a specific calculated amount of money that, if you invest it smartly, can cover your expenses, like forever, through passive income.
Okay. And they give us a tool for that, right?
Okay.
The rule of 25.
That's the one. Simple but powerful. Figure out what you actually spend in a year, your total annual expenses.
Got it.
Then multiply that number by 25. That's your target investment principle.
25 times annual expenses.
Okay.
And the logic there is,
The logic is you can then aim to withdraw about 4% of that invested amount each year to live on.
okay. So 4% of the big number covers your annual expenses.
Exactly. And historically, if it's invested in something diversified, like maybe the S&P 500 they mention, that 4% withdrawal allows the principal itself to hopefully keep growing or at least stay level with inflation.
So you're not eating into the core amount. It's like that golden goose analogy.
Perfect analogy. You live off the eggs, the 4%, but you absolutely do not touch the goose, the principal investment.
And crucially, you don't need like $1 million today to start this.
No, not at all. The sources emphasize starting small is fine. Use things like fractional shares, dollar cost averaging. Just be consistent. Build it over time.
Okay, so you've got your number, you understand the investment goal. Step 2 seems to be actually finding the money to invest.
Right, and this isn't about, skipping your morning coffee, though every bit helps. It's about bigger, smarter moves, hacking your major expenses.
Like car hacking. I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty blunt. Stop pouring money into new cars that just plummet in value and often come with big loans.
So buy quality used cars instead.
Yeah.
Ones that have already depreciated.
Exactly. The goal they outline is buy smart, maintain it well, and potentially sell it later for close to what you paid. Drive cheaply or even almost free.
And then brand hacking. Seems smaller, but
But it adds up, right? Choosing store brands or generics for things where there's really no difference except the label.
yeah, I mean, if it's the same stuff inside.
Why pay extra for marketing? Every dollar you save there is a dollar you can invest towards that freedom figure. It compounds.
Okay, but the really big one they highlight, the potential game changer, is house hacking.
Oh, absolutely. Because for most people, housing is the single biggest drain on their income.
So the idea is to flip that. Turn your biggest expense into an income source.
Precisely. Instead of just paying rent or a mortgage on a single-family home, you buy a multi-unit property, a duplex, triplex. The sources seem keen on a fourplex.
And you live in one unit.
You live in one unit and you rent out the others. The goal is for the rent from the other units to cover the entire mortgage payment, taxes, insurance.
Wow. So your housing costs basically become zero, or even positive cash flow.
That's the target. They even mention using specific loans, like an FHA loan, and negotiating with the seller to cover closing costs so you get in with minimal cash down. It fundamentally changes your financial picture.
That's huge. They also briefly mentioned tax hacking.
Yeah, basically using legal deductions and tax-advantaged accounts, ISAs, Roth IRAs, things like that. So your investments grow tax-free or tax-deferred, less friction.
And deal hacking. Just negotiating more.
Negotiating everything, cars, services, just plugging all those little leaks where money escapes so more stays with you to invest.
Makes sense. So saving is one part, but then there's earning more. Building income streams.
Right. The sources use this metaphor of a stool, your job. That's just one leg.
And relying on just one leg is risky.
Very. They challenge the whole idea of a secure job anyway, saying most people will have many jobs. You need more legs for real stability.
So side hustles, even if you're busy.
Especially if you think you're busy. They argue most people actually have like 50 plus hours of free time a week they could use. Leverage what you already know, affiliate marketing, freelancing, maybe e-commerce, gigs.
And this ties into how you use money, right? The sources contrast different approaches.
Yeah, they suggest the wealthy tend to use money primarily for expansion, making money make more money. passive income.
Whereas others might use it mainly for bills or taking on more debt for non-income producing things.
Exactly. It's a mindset shift. So where does that passive income come from? The stock market, like the S&P 500, is key. Crypto gets a mention, but with caution.
But real estate seems to be the big focus.
Definitely. They call it the ultimate wealth builder, especially linking back to that house hacking strategy. Leverage, cash flow, appreciation, it ticks a lot of boxes.
Okay, so let's try and recap this roadmap. What are the core steps from these sources?
All right. 1, define your specific freedom figure. Use that rule of 25. 2, hack your big expenses. Cars, brands, and especially housing through house hacking.
3, build multiple income streams. Don't rely just on the job. Use your spare time.
4, make your money work for you. Focus on expansion and passive income with a strong look at investments like the S&P 500 and particularly real estate.
And the point isn't necessarily instant riches or a lavish lifestyle tomorrow.
No, it's about methodically building a solid foundation, potentially multi-million dollars over time, for genuine freedom and control. It's a long game plan.
This really is the game plan, then, for potentially breaking free and actually owning your future. So maybe here's the final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
Just consider how you're currently using your money right now. Is it mostly just flowing out for bills and debt? Or are you actively directing it to create expansion, to build that future freedom we've been talking about? Something to really think about this week.